good too. That's what's also really impressed me. This is a comfortable car to be in. This has got to be up near the top of my choices to do like a cross-country Grand Tour sort of luxury experience car. I've really enjoyed this. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. I'm starting this video right now despite us being a bit haphazardly on the side of this road because I have always wanted to drive a Maserati GranTurismo. I'm getting two kind of bucket list cars done for me this week. The Bentley Continental GT, but also the Maserati GranTurismo. Now it's not the V8 GranTurismo that we've all come to know and love. Nettuno is the V6 powering this one. So I'm just excited to share my raw first impressions on the GranTurismo.
Wait, don't tell me. Harley Davidson.
Good job!
Thank you.
Now, yes, this is an entirely new model for this year, entirely new generation, and look at this red interior. Oh my goodness. So this is going to be a little less of an informed review and a little more of a raw, tell you how it is review. And my goodness, Tedward sits so close to the steering wheel. Not the largest man, but he's not small either. Big old coupe doors. Okay. Starting the engine. Looks like we have the nice Maserati infotainment system. Hope somebody's music doesn't start playing. Oh, I like that quite a lot better than a lot of touchscreen climate controls that I've used in the past. Okay, good amount of headroom. Ooh, light steering, thin steering wheel. Like to see both of those. Dry mode selector right here, easy to get to. We have Sport, Corsa, GT, and Comfort. Let's start right away in Corsa. That seems safe, right? Oh, and a camera rear view mirror, something that we don't have in a lot of the other cars. Let's get ourselves into drive, which we do with the paddle, question mark? Ah, there we go. We got another push button shifter situation going on here. We got a head-up display with a tachometer. That's kind of cool. Oh, that water's probably going to make a bunch of noise for us. The ride is firm in Corsa mode. I'm actually going to switch back to sport because I do want a little bit of safety intervention as I get acclimated with this car. You never go right away just full tilt. It's unwise. But I do want to do shifting on my own, so I'm going to press that shifter button again. I'm an M. Okay, alright. Ooh, okay. Alright. I really like the presence of the hood. This actually feels like a proper sports car. Shifts are not happening super fast right now in sport mode. A little bit of slur in there. Big column mounted metal shifters, as is customary with Maseratis. A lot of buttons on the steering wheel. I'm glad to see real buttons, even if they do look a little overwhelming at first. Real buttons as opposed to silly haptic things. Ooh, that shift was much more rough here in Corsa mode. Well, it's the problem with trying to shoot on Sundays. It's just constantly behind traffic. So, initial impressions though, I actually really like this Maserati. This is a cool place to be, and the engagement is so much more than I expected. That's really quite cool. Oh, I kind of wish it were that red color though, instead of this white. All right, so hopefully we get a little bit more time to toss this thing around, and we'll get back at you. Here we are coming into our last day with the Maserati GranTurismo, and I do think it's a shame that we're ending this in the rain, because this car, out of the four remarkably charismatic vehicles we've had this week, this one is the biggest surprise to me in how it's transformed from kind of this older guard sledgehammer sort of sports car to the sharpest and most true representation of a sporty Grand Tour that I've been in a really long time. I've actually been remarkably impressed, not with just the fact that it's fast. I mean, we knew we're going to be dealing with this twin-turbo 3-liter V6 that's got almost 550 horsepower and almost 500 pound-feet of torque. I wasn't expecting it to be slow, but what I wasn't expecting was the cohesion of the interior and the tightness of everything. I mean, this car has a decent amount of miles on it, and I'm still not hearing any squeaks, rattles. Of course, you aren't going to really pick up on that through the rain anyway, but the steering wheel has this smallness to it. It makes it fit nicely in my hands. The ergonomics are good. The paddles are right where they should be, as well as the blinkers. There's a lot about this car that actually comes together and works as a package, and that has been what's impressed me the most about this car, is that I feel like I'm driving a no-compromise sort of sportsmobile, not something that needs to be made excuses for. Maserati's done an excellent blend of technology. I mean, look at this cool clock up here, these great high-definition touchscreens, an excellent Sonos Favor sound system, but then also driving dynamics that are just straight fun. And because it's all-wheel drive, still able to rock it up to high speeds even in wet conditions like this. It's not the most charismatic engine, I will say. I mean, it's got plenty of gumption, but similar to what we experienced with the MC20 last year, it has so much push, but not that much pomp and fanfare and circumstance. And sometimes that's almost a little bit more important than outright speed. We see that with cars like the Lexus LC500. It's just fun revving that 5-liter V8 out and hearing it, maybe a bit more so than actually getting yourself from 0 to 100 miles per hour. Oh, I love that level of power though with the weight of this car, because it's almost like there's always more. You're using about 2/3 of the throttle, and then you still got a lot of punch to give, and it really, really comes online quick. Real quick shift there from that 8-speed. It's not a playful car in terms of you wanting to go out and spin around. I mean, even in the wet here, it hasn't been dancing around with me in a hooligan sort of way. It's a mature, grown-up sort of sports car, and I can absolutely see this car being a choice for somebody with the means to get something that looks the part and they don't have to make excuses for it afterward. This car looks on the inside and out unlike anything else on the market aside from a Maserati MC20, but yet I could drive it like a normal sports car. It's got a tightness, it's got a quickness, it's got a precision that I really didn't expect from this car. How easily I can turn on defrost while driving. Ah, okay. Well, actually, there we go. No? There we are. I really would like to see what aftermarket companies are doing with exhausts on this and the MC20, because there is a possibility that you could really evoke more character out of this car with just a more exciting noise coming out of the back. It's not to say it's bad, it just, isn't evocative. And the ride is good too. That's what's also really impressed me. This is a comfortable car to be in. This has got to be up near the top of my choices to do like a cross-country Grand Tour sort of luxury experience car. I've really enjoyed this. Sometimes we get so freaked out by bad weather and non-according to plan situations, but sometimes you forget how nice it can be to just go out for a drive in the rain. And it helps when you have a $250,000 sports car under your butt. Interestingly, the GranTurismo does not want you to trail brake. Look what happens if you press the brake and the gas at the same time. The whole car freaks out. Its performance may be limited. Press one pedal at a time and it stops moving forward. So, that's, again, perhaps a little bit more of a luxury Grand Tour than an outright sports car, or rather a track car. But hey, this has been a unique experience, and again, one that I didn't expect to be like this. I'll do a quick rain wrap here. I'm sure the car has flaws. I'm sure it has drawbacks in the real world. You can tell there's quirkiness, but I like it, and I think there's a lot of people who are going to be thoroughly impressed by how Maserati pulled off this car. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the GranTurismo here or any of the other cars we've been driving this week, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, Italian sports car on.